Hi readers, my name is Dawn Hughes and I'm the coordinator for Booktrib's book club program. I'm here today with author Liz Larson to talk about her novel Fireflies and Zeroes, a roller coaster story of suspense, resilience, and the enduring bonds of friendship. I'm hooked already. We're thrilled that Fireflies and Zeroes is one of the selections available in Booktrib's book club program for February. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to talk to us today, Liz.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here with me.
Of course, we're just going to dive in because we only have about 5 minutes, so no spoilers. But what can you share about your book that we wouldn't find on the jacket cover?
So one thing that you may or may not find on the jacket cover, that sort of gears towards the fact that this is a mystery, is that this is a story that's really firmly rooted in its characters and its setting. It's really a character-driven piece, and the setting is my hometown and my character's hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia, and dealing with a lot of the really very real and recent history there, with the Unite the Right rally that took place in August of 2017. So there's a lot of very real background there, and a lot of the story really comes through in the characters and their reactions both to that reality and the mystery into which they find themselves thrust.
That's fascinating. What inspired this story? I know that's not a question I prepped you for, but like, why did you go that way?
I've lived in Charlottesville long enough that I remember very vividly, as the headlines and as the day unfolded of the Unite the Right rally in 2017. And I had been an undergraduate student at the University of Virginia, and I had never really thought of Charlottesville as my home. It had been a place that I'd lived.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I was struck with such a strong sense of how could this happen in my home. And it was one of the first times that in my head, it was automatic that Charlottesville was home. So that had a really strong emotional impact on me. And then being at home, writing during the pandemic, the places that I missed the most were the places right around me. And I'd had these characters and pieces of a story in my head for a long time, and I wanted to let it unfold in the world right outside me that I was missing, that I'm really excited to be back part of.
I love that. That's really interesting and intriguing. I'm so excited that you wrote this book. Why it seems like there'd be some built-in themes, obviously, but why would your novel make a good book club selection?
I think there's a lot of questions of identity and belonging in this book, both in the broader context of obviously the recent historical events, but also on a personal level. The story centers on a band. It's a 3-member band, and we also hear a lot from the brother of the band member who goes missing. So there's a lot of questions of the different identities, as people of color, as immigrants, as white people who've grown up in Charlottesville. There's a lot of different identities at play, just as there always are in conversations today. So I think a lot of the themes about where we belong, both among our own friends and in our towns and in our societies, would be really interesting to discuss. And I think these are questions without a lot of right answers, which make them great for a book club.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Thank you. I'm going to veer off your book for a sec because we're still all building our 2024 reading lists. What was the best book that you read last year or in the last year, and why?
I absolutely love Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. She's another Virginia author, so I'm always excited about that. But she does such rich world building and world crafting, and being able to connect to a story that's a setting that's not far from where I live, that has such a richly developed cast of characters and a world that I recognize, was really cool for me. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. All of her books are amazing. But this was my most recent great read.
Fantastic. I love that book too, actually. So good. It's a great one to add to the TBRs. I obviously we could talk about your book and books all day, but I do need to wrap this up. So I want to thank you again for your time and say best of luck with this release and whatever you write next, which I hope is something.
It will be. Thank you so much.
For more information about Liz's book, please check out the book club page on the booktrib.com website. Thank you.